I found his answer interesting, and he referenced it a couple different times, Tommy Curran, today, about leadership, rebounding from bad plays and bad games, taking the highs with the lows. Like, isn't that really an encapsulation of his biggest problem last year?
Everything. Yeah, it's as if he read a self-help book and, okay, it's not somebody else, no matter what it is. You know, the obstacle is the way, all these other things that the Patriots have ascribed and subscribed to. He absolutely has done that. And I give him credit for it because, you know, on one hand, you're young enough to understand where you're going wrong. It's not a huge pride-swallowing event, but he's doing what's best for his career. It's, you know, say, okay, I had a really crappy situation. 1 million people told me that. I agreed with them. But at some point, I needed to say, okay, it is what it is. I got to go play. And he didn't do that. Now he's trying to.
So, you know, he's taking the coaching, or Bill got to him, or it's just genuine and he knows it's self-realization. Either way, it's a good sign. I think it's the right thing to say.
There were teammates, plenty of teammates, and I think people that he really liked and enjoyed on the coaching staff who said enough was enough, kind of. You know, David Andrews has not been shy about saying, look, great leader. Devin was great leader, but that was beyond the pale. When it went on for 3 weeks, kicking rocks, it went beyond the pale.
Yeah, you can tell that people got to him because he keeps mentioning this. Like, you know, my attitude needs to change, leadership, and I'm going to prove that I'm a better leader than I've shown in the past. So I got no problems with that. But Tom and Mike, I really don't understand what the Patriots have done to help Mac Jones. If you think about it, the one thing they've done off the field to help him is to give him an offensive coordinator. But that's like Tom being on TV and saying, wow, thank you, NBC Sports Boston. You gave me a microphone and a camera.
And some lights.
And
exactly,
but that's what you're supposed to do. But they haven't done anything out of the ordinary to say, this is who we're trying to be, and we're going to help you, Mac. They took away Jacoby Myers, replaced him with Juju Smith-Schuster. They took away, you know, Jonnu, thank you, but they replaced him with Mike Gesicki. They're not doing anything extra to help him, and I think that really is setting him back. I like Mac, but I don't know what kind of player he really is because they haven't done enough to really bring out his best.
They haven't done enough to strap a retro rocket to his back and say, nobody's going to stop you now. I wonder if sometimes they don't want to invest because they're not sure what he is. I mean,
okay, well, that's a good, you know, segue into the next thing. Chris Sims, quarterback rankings before last season. We just picked him because we could find it on the internet, but everyone did this. Everyone. I know on early edition, Tom, you played Phil Perry's quarterback rankings going to last year, and it was similar. Mac Jones was middle of the pack-ish, coming off his rookie year, and Jalen Hurts was at the bottom of the league. Okay, that's where Chris Sims had the quarterbacks ranked last year. Now I don't know where Sims has him this year, but Jalen Hurts is no worse than top 10. He's pretty close to top 5 in most everybody's rankings. So is it possible that they can flip back this year? And I think the answer is yes. And I don't hate Jalen Hurts by a long shot, but, you know, he put up some elite passing numbers last year that I need to see him duplicate before I say that he's an elite guy. And I think people are underrating Mac Jones based off of last year where we know half of it wasn't his fault. So I think Hurts could have a regression to the mean and Jones could pass him again. I really think so.
I don't know if they can flip back. I do know that if you put Mac Jones in Philadelphia, their chances of being a Final Four team would probably be fairly similar.
A great offensive line, 2 legit #1 wide receivers, and a really good tight end.
No way in Hades.
And an offensive-minded head coach? I disagree. I think they'd be good.
And if you put Jalen Hurts here, I think the result could be better as well, because then you put in
the off-platform stuff.
See, but I think the offense is built around Jalen Hurts in some important ways, and it takes advantage of his running ability. You talk about that 4th down play. That's Jalen Hurts' strength too. I mean, this guy is so.
But Mac's
he may be the strongest.
Accurate.
Yeah, he may be the strongest quarterback in the league.
But Mac's a more accurate thrower.
And probably better at the line of scrimmage.
But, okay, a more accurate thrower, but not as explosive.
Nope.
You can take Mac Jones' accuracy, but I want the dynamic ability of Jalen Hurts.
No way in Hades. So you don't think if Mac Jones went and played for the Philadelphia Eagles, and this is why when we get into these conversations about Joe Burrow and $250 million, he's unbelievable. But and so is Mahomes. But there's a lot of guys you can throw a blanket over and say, pick one out and put them in a certain offense. I'll tell you what's going to happen. I think that Mac Jones could certainly be quarterback of a 13-win team if you put him in Philadelphia.
That Philly team's stacked. And they know how to play offense. They're with the times offensively, both in terms of personnel, homegrown, all purely drafted offensive line to number one. We've been over this.
Right.
You put Mac in that. If you like Mac Jones,
I do like Mac Jones.
You surround him with all of that.
I like Mac
then
Jones.
Then you should assume he's going to do really good things.
No, I like Mac Jones, and I think he can be at his best with talent. I think Jalen Hurts, from what I don't need to see another year. I saw enough from Jalen Hurts last year because that's no guarantee that you get that talent around you and you go to MVP level. Do you think Mac Jones could be an MVP? Because Jalen Hurts was a whisper away from being an MVP last year. So that's what I'm saying. I think Mac Jones could go to Philly and do very well. I don't think he'd be considered an MVP of the league like Jalen Hurts was last year.
Top five? Could Mac Jones sneak into that top five kind of category? If he's surrounded by that.
If he goes into a Philly and has a 38 touchdown, 4 pick season, which is not absurd given his abilities, I think, in accuracy and with players around him, he could be that. I never think he's going to be a 50 touchdown guy,
right.
but
Okay, Jones was once at Alabama, the same time as Jalen Hurts. Here he is talking about his old teammate today.
Learned a lot from him, just stuff like that, just leading off the field and like the fourth quarter program we had. He just always did such a good job running, leading, never showed a lot of emotion, just did his thing, and I actually learned a lot from him there. And then obviously on the field, there's a bunch of stuff too, so I really appreciate him. In college, he went through a lot, transferred, played well everywhere he's been. It's just who he is. It's Jalen Hurts. He's just a great player, a great person, and a good friend.
Okay, Tommy, what scares you the most about Hurts in this game?
The fact that they'll go for it on fourth down, the power of the lower body of Jalen Hurts has everybody a little bit scared.
So it's still his legs, it's not his arm.
Yeah, because he doesn't throw very well on the move. He's not accurate when he moves out of the pocket, and he's not a classic scrambler. He's not really, Mahomesian. I mean, he could do this, quarterback draws and stuff, but he's not scary. Look at the freaking quads on the kid. So that, to me, is the scariest part. You can turn him into not, a conventional running back, practically, a Ramondre Stevenson, Damian Harris running back, when you put him in the open field because it's going to be pull it down. So it's going to put a lot on the Patriots linebackers and the guy who I think is going to be the key to their defense, Jabril Peppers.
What scares you in this game, what has to scare the Patriots, is the entire skill set of Jalen Hurts, because you're right, on the move, like a lot of quarterbacks, not as accurate. The Patriots defense still has to prove that they can put him in these positions that make him uncomfortable. They haven't been able to do that to a good quarterback. He is at least a good quarterback, if not elite. I think he's an elite quarterback. And so I don't believe they can say, we're taking this away from you, Jalen. They used to. They're not that team anymore. So this is going to be a problem. I think he can do whatever he wants to the Patriots on Sunday.
Are they the most talented offense in the league? When you say, look, Mahomes is Mahomes, but, Kelsey's Kelsey. But we're talking an elite quarterback. Yeah. We're talking 2 elite wide receivers.
Yep. The line is crazy.
Is stupid good.
Right.
Yeah, they might be. They're up there. How does Sunday play out?
The Patriots hang around, and they have a good game plan, but in the end, I think that Philadelphia takes advantage of the Patriots still not syncing up on their offensive line, being under duress. They don't have a blitzkrieg on Mac, but they bother him enough and pressure him enough that they keep the Patriots out of the end zone. I still think it's going to take a while for that red zone stuff to figure itself out from last year. So too many times you have to settle for field goals.